everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and welcome to another video, of Sunday video. Oh, look at my paper, it's a bit dirty here. Never mind, it's still serviceable. So this week we're going to make this card. It's called a swing arm card, because this arm swings out this way and then the card opens this way. So when it's standing up, it sort of swings a little bit, this bit. I just thought it was a little bit different. I made one of these probably about 5 or 6 years or so ago, before I did videos, before I did written tutorials. So I just thought, well, you know what, I'm going to revisit that because it's a nice card. So, but I used, this is all old stuff. This is a set called Coffee Cafe, I think it was called. But, and the paper was from the same, same set. So yeah, I just thought it was a little bit different. So that's our card for today. That's what it's going to look like. Let me pop that out of the way for a minute. And I'll show you, we're going to be using some new products. Look at these. These are all in the mini catalogue. And this one's called Trusty Tools. And now this comes with, if you buy $90 worth of product between January and February, in celebration, you can get the paper that matches this. I didn't bring it over, it's in the other room, so I'm sorry I can't show you. That comes with these lovely dies, and there's heaps of them, lots more than what there is on here. So you've got like this spanner, and there's the other spanner there, and the hammer, and the paintbrush, the ruler, we've got a little drill here, then we've got our checkerboard here. I don't know what this bit's for. I'll have to work that one out. And then we've got our bits for our paintbrush here. So this is a really lovely set, and no, I really think that this is going to go really well. I can't see me not using it. See, this is like pliers, and there's the handles for it. So I can see me using this heaps. So we're going to be using this for a little bit of the stuff, and we're also going to be using, out of this set, we're using the You're the Most Awesome and the paintbrush and the bits that go on top of it, out of that stamp set. So let's pop that one out of the way. Then we have this one called Rockstar. I didn't bring the dies over for this, but you get the die for this and this in the drumstick, and you get a big plectrum and a few, the one for this and that. So I really like this. It was really manly, but this, I'm putting this on the inside, thanks for being an icon, because that looks like it's been painted, and because I'm using the paint brushes out of this one, I thought that looks great. And I didn't want to put the You Have a Rock and Roll Birthday, because we're not rock and rolling, we're painting. So I thought, thanks for being an icon. And we're going to also be using the deckled circles. So we've used these before, and I'm going to use these two, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th and the 6th size of those. So that's what we're going to be using out of those. So let me just show you the paper that goes with that Rockstar one. And that's what I'm going to be using, some of the DSP from that, because again, this looks like it's been painted. So I thought, oh, well, that looks like it's been painted, so I'm going to use that paper. But it comes with, it's all black and white, this paper. So it's got funny on the other side. Then we've got some with guitars on it, and this one here, this one. And it's a bit scratchy over the other side. This one's got record players and tape decks and things like that on that side. And it's speckled on the other. So I can see this being really nicely manly ones. Nice black and white there. And that looks like a marble. That looks a bit like my old bench tops before I had my kitchen done up, actually. That's the one we're using now for this one. And then that one looks like you just pasted it, and it's a bit checkered on the other side. So I just thought that was a little bit different. So I just thought, well, let's use this one that looks like it's been painted, because we're painting. Okay, let me show you what you actually need, and I'm going to also use some of these iridescent rhinestones. I've got blue ink all over my fingers here. Okay, let's get that off my fingers because we don't want that on the white. Now, because I'm using white as my layer, for my inside, I'm actually doing it the opposite way around. I'm going to put my DSP underneath and my white layer on the top. So, anyway, we need a piece of card that is 4 1/8 by 10 inches long. For the arm, we need a piece of card that is 4 inches, I think this is actually 4 1/8 by 1 1/4 inches long. Okay, for my front layers, I'm going to need a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and I'm doing that in the white with this one over the top, but I've got to make sure I put it that way on there so that it looks like you're painting up and down. And this one measures 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. For the insert, which I'm going to be doing the opposite way to the outside because I wanted to break it up, and I didn't want white, and then I thought, well, how am I going to put white on top of white? So I'm doing it the opposite way around. So my insert, I'm putting my DSP layer first, and this piece measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and my white piece measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. And then I've also got a piece that measures a little piece of DSP here that I'm putting on the end here, that measures 1 1/2 by 3 5/8. Okay, and then on my arm, I've got a piece of DSP here as well that measures 1 inch by 3 1/4 inches. And then I've got my decal circles, which I've already cut out here. And I've also already cut out my 2 paint brushes and my saying for the front, which is "You're the most awesome," because I actually heat embossed that in silver. So, and I don't know how I'm going to pop that together on there, but we'll work that out as we go. Okay, let's move all this over. Whoops. And we're going to start with our piece, with our main card, and we're going to score this on the long side. And there's my scoring tool. Okay, we're going to score this on the long side, and I've gone wonky, so at 5 7/8 of an inch. Okay, 5 7/8 of an inch. And while we're scoring, we might as well score our arm piece, which is the 4 1/8, and we're just going to score this at 1 inch. That's all the scoring we're going to do. So let's pop my tool back in there. Let's move this one down here, and we're going to fold and burnish this card. Where's my burnish? There. Can't even find anything now. I'm going a bit wonky here. I think my tripod's gone a bit wonky too. There we go. So we're going to fold and burnish that, which means that this short side is the front of the card. We're going to fold and burnish this piece as well at the same time. And what we're going to do first is we're actually going to glue this arm to our layer 1. In this case, it's my DSP, and it's going to be onto the right hand side here, and it needs to be roughly in the middle along this edge. So we're going to pop some glue on that tab bit there, and let's see if I can get the glue out, because we've had a few warm days and now we're going back to a cool one. So there we go. No, we're not. So once it gets a warm day and a cool day, we seem to have a little bit of problem with it getting stuck in the end there. Okay, so I've just got to make sure I don't get that over the edge there. And we're going to pop that on the end here, making sure it's fairly even down that side. Once we're happy with that, it mustn't go over that line, but right buttered up to it. Oops, don't want to bend that, do we? So we're then going to glue that to the inside of our card like so. Now if you're doing a normal layer, like a card, then that's fine too. It doesn't matter, but you're still doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so we've glued that to the inside of our card like so. Once that's stuck down like that, we will now bring in our white piece and another piece of DSP, which I've got a little bit of a burr on the end of that. I don't know why. I've just put a new blade in there. Okay, and we're going to glue this onto the end here so that it's butted up against these three edges. If you don't want it this wide, that's fine. I just thought it was enough for me, so I was happy with that. So turn that around. Doesn't really matter which way around it goes, as long as the marks are up and down. There we go. So we've got that onto there nicely, and we're then going to go and do a bit of stamping. So I've got the stamps from this 2 sets. So I've got Knight of Navy here, and I'm going to stamp the thanks for being an icon into the centre of this. And that definitely does look like paint strips. And then I've got here, and I'm going to do them in the navy as well, and there's screws and nuts and bolts. So I'm going to pop them in all 4 corners, like so. So I just think it just needs them. Just enough to give that little bit of something. I don't know what that is on my block. Yuck. No, don't know. Okay, so that's all the stamping I'm going to do because I've done all the rest of the stamping. So we will now pop this one onto the inside of the card as well. So we've done the insert before we've done the front of the card this time, which is a little bit different, but still, that doesn't matter. So that looks better than me having white on white, I think. Otherwise I would have had to put a border around. So that's our inside done. That's the outside of our card now. So we're going to actually glue our 2 panels onto the front of the card. So we're going to glue our DSP to our layer 1, which is our white layer. In this case. And making sure, in my case, that I've got my paint strips going the correct way, which is up and down, not backwards and forwards. We'll pop that one onto the front of the card, like so. Okay, so our card is starting to look really like it should be. We're going to give that a nice burnish down again on that end, and you will see that by doing that, this then matches up nicely along there. Looks like you've got your white bit there, and we've got our piece on there. So we're going to pop our piece of DSP on there. I think I've cut this a little bit too long by the looks of things, so I'm just going to trim this piece off, and it doesn't matter how much, because part of it's not going to be seen because it will be underneath the circle. So I've pulled some of that off. So I'm going to see what this measures now. This measures 3 inches, so I'm going to mark that on my thing here for my tutorial. Just 3 inches long is going to be quite long enough. Okay, so we'll pop our piece on here. It's a little bit busy, I think, this paper, but it's not too bad. Okay, so we're going to now glue our deckled circles together, the same as we've done all the other layers. Except we didn't put any white layer between them, and that's fine. So for this one we need him to go that way, We want it to go so it's sort of centralised in the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on there, and that looks fairly centralised. I'm just going to lift my card up and just put a little line there so I know where to put my glue to. Go over that line just a little bit so that, you know, it's actually not showing. And then we'll pop our circle on the top like so. And we've got our circle on there. Now I don't think I'm going to put my You're Awesome. I don't know. I think I might pop him there and just put my... I'm going to put my You're Awesome here, and I'm going to put with one paintbrush and the other one over here like this, I think. So we're going to glue this one down flat onto this piece. So one of these gets glued on there. Just make sure I haven't got a little bit of glue on the end of that piece that's hanging off. Oop, that's good. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals here to pop this up onto dimensionals. Oops, come off of that one. And I'll pop that across there on an angle like that. And then this one I'm going to put up on dimensionals, and I'm going to pop that on the side. Oop, get on there. Have I got some small ones here? Yes, I've got some small ones here. Look at this. Got a couple of small ones up the handle. And I just think that that looks better than trying to cram it all onto the same thing. Oh yes, that looks huge, really fantastic. Alright, so let's pop some embellishments on. So we'll use the medium sized ones, I think. And we'll pop one here, and one more for luck. We'll pop that one just above it, over this side there. That's it, in the right spot. Okay, so that's our card for today. It was a fairly quick and easy one today. Well, let me put the pin in the glue, there we go. And it's called a swing arm card. Just a little bit different, but, you know, it's a nice manly card. We don't do very many men's cards, unfortunately. But there seems to be some nice men's things into the mini catalogue, which runs from, let me think, it runs from January, March, to April. January to April. So anything that's in there, I haven't got anything here from the celebration catalogue, but the celebration catalogue, if you buy anything from the annual or the mini, and you spend $90 in product, you will be able to collect something out of the celebration catalogue for free. Now, isn't that a fantastic idea? I love it. It's a lovely way to get extra things. So if you've enjoyed today's project, I don't know, there's my light's flashing a little bit there. If you've enjoyed today's project, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss other projects. I'm having a bit of a tongue tie here. If you'd like the written tutorial for this, head down below to Die Stem for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group page. There you'll find the written tutorial. It is written in Imperial and Metric, so it has both on the sheet together. And I make cards for the Australian, European size envelopes, which is C6, I believe. Yes, C6. So, so they are a little bit narrower and a little bit longer than the American sizing. But this card can easily be adapted for the American size paper. So if you've enjoyed that and you'd like to see more, we'd love to see you here and on my Facebook group. So I will see you again next time. Bye for now.